Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the digital neighborhood. This is the Real Brothers of the Real World with our weekly podcast. And no, your computer is not broken. It is just me for now. Waiting for my partner TLMC to get on. He's on vacation. He's down in New Orleans right now with his family, so he might be having difficulty logging on. So I'm gonna need the ones that are out there tuning in. I'm gonna need you to help me by participating in these topics so that we can wait for Terry to join us. So once again, welcome to the Real Brothers of the Real World. All right, we're gonna try to move things a little slowly. And by doing that, that'll give Terry a chance to hop on, and we won't have to repeat ourselves. But yeah, it's just me right now. Terry should be here shortly. All right. I hope you had an opportunity to take a look at the questions that we had, and you have some ideas or some thoughts on them. And feel free to comment on it. I'm gonna put the link out there now. I'm doing that as we speak. And like I said, if you want to join in, click on the link and that'll give you the opportunity to make a comment on these topics if I can get this done. All right, I'm gonna add this link in here now. Here we go. All right. There you go. The topic is the link is out there. So if you want to join in the conversation, click on that link. I just put it there in the group chat in the realbrothers.com account. And you can hop on and participate. All right. We have 4 topics. I'm going to run through those topics. Once again, I'm going to do them slowly. And hopefully Terry will be up here shortly. All right. What does Russia/Ukraine mean to us? As you know, Russia had been, they've been in war for about since 2014. And then earlier this week, Russia decided to go ahead and invade its smaller neighbor, Ukraine. So the question is, what does Russia/Ukraine, what does that issue mean to us? Second question, where are we headed? Talking about as a whole, just at a large level, where are we headed? Third question, Embiid and Harden. That's the talking about the Sixers. The blockbuster trade that went down the other day. They have a couple games under their belt, but we want to give a little bit of air to that and add that in our conversation. Last topic. Give me some good news. Now, especially on that one, I'm going to need you to give me some good news. We talk about a lot of issues here, but just give me your idea, your feedback. Give me some good news, all right? But before we get started, a couple things. I do have a random, but first I want to say congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Patrick Sadlin. That's my daughter and her husband. I attended their ball last night. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful event. He's the potentate of the Shriners. Yes, the Shriners is one of the divisions of the Masons, an organization in which I am a member, not active, but a member. But he is the potentate, which is the highest level of the Shriners. All right. Got my man Shice logging in. Since Terry's not here, we're going to bring him on immediately. Because that's, though, but this is what Shice does. Shice come to save the day. Terry's running late, so Shice says, Shice, what's up, man?
What's good, bro?
Not much, man. How you feel?
I'm good.
See, man, you know what? I could always depend on my brothers, man. Terry's down in New Orleans, so he's running late. So hopefully he'll be able to hop on. Did you hear the topics tonight, Shice? Did you hear the 4 topics?
Yeah, definitely did.
Which one? I think I have an idea, but which one interests you, man? What did you think?
When you said, what does the Ukraine and Russia have to do with us?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then.
Well, which one you thought I was going?
I'm not being shallow, but I thought you were. I thought it was the Embiid one. I thought it was the Embiid one.
Yeah,
Embiid.
that
But
too.
before you get off, I was going to
That was
say
the two
before you
that
get off.
jumped out at me though.
All right. Well, then we gonna hop on both of those. But yeah, Shice, Ukraine was invaded by Russia the other day. I think it was like last week sometime. They've been at war since like 2014. And you hear a lot of people talking about the fact that it's on the other side of the world and we shouldn't have anything to do with it. It's not our war. But I wanted to put it out there, so you're here, Shice. What are your thoughts on it? What does that whole issue mean to us?
Well, it's going to directly affect us whether we sit back and say what we shouldn't do. We are going to get involved because that's what the NATO is about, the Allies about, United States, and the Russian conflict goes even further back since the Cold War days, right after World War II, when they fought on the same side, and after that they became divided.
Right.
You had them. Right. The Russia divided half of the Soviet Union, divided up half of Europe, and the Allies had the other half, where you had West Germany, East Germany. Then all these Soviet countries had satellite countries underneath them. Mm-hmm. And when the wall came down, stuff like the Ukraine left the Soviet Union, different countries, Germany, fell back. So U.S. and Russia, Russia have a long history. The Ukraine have a history, as you spoke on. So it's going to affect us because whether we say we shouldn't be involved or not, if it comes down to sanctions, that's going to affect us. Us putting sanctions on them.
Right.
If it goes down to us actually putting boots on the ground, we have blacks are in the military, so
Absolutely.
It's going to affect us.
It's going to affect us.
Right. But as far as what it should be, that's another. That's the other side of the coin. Because I've been watching, and I haven't seen it reported on the major news outlets, but I've been seeing YouTube and different, people. Because with people with these cell phones, you get news even if they don't cover it. And I'm watching Africans that's stuck in the Ukraine, how they're being treated as they're trying to flee.
Now that's interesting.
You got telling them they can't, they got to wait until all the Russians, the Ukrainians, and the Polish get on the train first.
Right. Wow.
I seen one where they had guns out at the Africans, so they already treating other people like second class. So if the United States is going to get involved with it's about freedom and lives, the lives of other people.
That's right.
And we're jumping in this for Ukraine freedom, and then watching our brothers and sisters,
right,
freedom impact
on, right. And Shice, I'll say this: I do get the argument when people talk about how we have issues here at home. That is true, we do. But I think, and we kind of touched on this last week. Looks like TL is coming on now. We touched on this last week too, Shice. Eventually these kind of issues, they swing back to us anyway. You know what I mean? And also, my position on it was that the days of allowing a person to go and change borders because they're the biggest bully in the room, you can no longer allow that to happen. I mean,
we can't be hypocritical because the United States have practiced imperialism. They put their hands in other governments, remove leaders that they feel is unfriendly, to put in friendly people that's friendly to them just for political and economic gains. So we got to be real about that. But what you're saying, we tried that during World War II. Right. We wanted to stay out of the Nazi and the European conflict, and the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. So we do. It's two sides to that. So if we do sit back and let the world do what it does, it will impact us. Even if we try to sit home and act like our borders are safe.
That's right. Right. Yes.
You look up the next day and your borders are not safe.
Your borders, right. You see, and the analogy that I always use is that if you let someone continue to do that, and you're right, we have done things like that, help to overthrow governments, to put in people that are friendly to us. We have. And that is wrong also. If you have a democratic, it looks like Terry's trying to get some juice. If you have a democratic elected government, regardless whether we agree with that person or not, overthrowing a government to install someone that's friendly to you is wrong.
But historically, they overthrew governments to put in dictators.
Right. Yeah.
So they don't always get involved to keep the democratic democracy alive in other people's countries. They have put in dictators in power.
Yeah.
So
and again,
very
that's wrong also.
It's very. It is. This is not something that's black and white. It's layered with nuances, and we have to look at it case by case. Right. And it's like I said before Terry came on, if we're talking about Ukraine freedoms and lives, and then we watching what they're doing to Africans, that's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
We get involved to help the Ukrainians keep their freedom and their lives to move prosperous, and we watching them treat Africans second class.
Now, I'll say this also, Shice. I have to be perfectly honest. I didn't see that footage. I didn't see that. You said you're catching that on YouTube?
I seen a few places. Just like you're seeing, if you're watching, they sending clips of Ukraine and Russian conflicts.
Right.
So if you watching, they got clips of Russian and Ukraine actually engaging in conflicts. And I've seen the videos where they're snatching Africans off the train, telling they gotta wait until they to all the Ukraine and the Polish get on board first.
Right.
I seen a video where they held them at gunpoint to keep the South African students back. Wow. So yes, I think, and historically, if you notice, they have been having a hard time in Poland and in Russia.
Right.
I don't know why we go over there. That's another story. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And that's a different. Well, first of all, let's bring Nigo and Tay. Can you hear us? TL. He look. No, I don't think he can hear us. He got that dazed look. I don't think he can hear us. But yeah, man. You know, and like I said, man, I get it, and I think sometimes it's difficult to, you know, express the fact and make all of us realize that. You know, the analogy that I use is that we have to be able to talk and chew gum at the same time. You know, the world is a lot smaller now. And as you said, Shice, if you ignore things like that, before you know it, they're knocking at your door. You know, think about
that's one side of it too. But we still got to be clear about the U.S. Historically, went abroad fighting for other people's freedoms while we were second class here.
Right. Yeah.
We were treated like second-class citizens during World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, and we could even say till today.
Right.
So it's just hypocritical. I get your point. We can't, as a country, act like we live in this world by ourselves and let things go unchecked. But we can't act like we're Superman and our hands are clean. We got some Lex Luthor in us too.
Right. now, but you know what though? Hey Terry, can you hear us? TL. Terry, can you hear us?
Yo, hello.
Yo, what's up, man? What's going on? You got a little delay?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? All the way from.
I'm on late.
No, that's cool. He must have a little delay. No, we hear you though. We hear you though, Nike. All the way from New Orleans. He's dedicated.
What's up? Happy Mardi Gras, everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure he's down there drinking. Hey, Tay, wait a minute. You must have pulled your shirt completely off. You got some big He took the whole shirt off. Yo, you got the
beans.
All I gotta do is this. So
I'm ready to show my
no, don't do it, Terry. Please, no. He like this.
We ain't got no beans. Terry. Keep the shirt
on. Please don't, man. Yo, how's everything in New Orleans, man?
Yo, it's hot. It's cool down here, man. It's good. It's all good.
That's good, man.
Everybody left me. I had to go to bed early, man. I had to get my nap before I get the show. But yo, it's only 7:12. It's only 7:15, 7:14 here.
Wow. See, we should have paid attention in school. We forgot about that hour delay.
Jumping on late.
All right, okay. Yeah, my fault, man. My fault. Yo, Shice, why you on? Shice hopped on, man. We were talking about, we mentioned the 4 topics that we have, and we started out, looked like we lost them. We're losing them. Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to get back on. But yeah, Shice, you know, just to get back to what we were saying, man, you know, I do agree with you 100%, man. All right, you know what? We're gonna slide on to the next one. All right, Shice, can you hang on, man? Can you stay on a little longer?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Shice? All right, I have a random. And
I should have grabbed my hat if I knew I was going to jump on
your,
my real
your,
brother's
your
hat.
brother's hat. You know, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I know you're a real brother. Since we're on this, Shice, the random that I had, you know, especially talking about, actually, it's a good tie-in. In the vein of what you said, you know, we can't be hypocritical and act like our hands are clean and we're flying into all these countries to save the day when we still have a way to go here in this country. See, maybe it wouldn't be fair to ask you, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Would you fight for this country?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm ex-military, so
See,
I was
that's
in.
what I say. It's in a way, it's kind of tough to ask you, but I'm
Yeah,
sure you understand.
I was in. Well, I can share my experience and my thought at the time when I was serving during Desert Storm. I went in and I was trying to make a quick run. I was only trying to do 2, and they was like, "No, we ain't got the 2 no more." So I had to sign up a little longer, and I was trying to be in and out, just take a breath from Philly for a while, see if I wanted to go to school, what I wanted to do. And the Cold War was coming to a close.
That's right.
The Russian wall had fell.
Yep.
So you're thinking, oh, it's peacetime. Let's go. Right. Like you could get in there. You ain't got to worry about, you know, we constantly kept hearing about a Cold War and Russian and the nuclear war was impending. So I was trying to get in and out. Next thing you know, we had it with a Saddam the first time.
Right. There's always something.
Yeah. And I wasn't with it.
No,
you know what I mean? And not to go into it is like, I felt more.
You were in it when you were in the military when the first Gulf War happened. You were in there.
Yes,
I remember you were in, but I didn't know you were there.
Yes, I was in. You know, they gave you. I don't know where it's at, but they give you a ribbon if you served during wartime.
Okay.
Or medal or some. I forget the name of it, but I remember they calling us down, telling us we're getting ready to leave. Make out your will, get your affairs in order. Wow. I had to go home and had a conversation with my wife at the time, and I wasn't feeling it. I was more. I could really wrap my head around dying on that corner in North Philly, standing next to my mans and them, then going across seas. I wasn't with it, but I wasn't going to, like I already signed the commitment. I wasn't going to jump ship and go AWOL, but I wasn't happy with it. So you asked me, would I do it? If I'm in the service, I would fulfill my commitment. Would I join knowing it's wartime? No, I wouldn't have did that.
So now, Nike, I'm asking Shice, which is a good tie-in. You look like you're frozen. We're talking about it was my random. My random was, will you fight for this country? Now remember, Shice was in the military, so it was a little odd to ask him the question because he kind of already answered the question. But this is what I'm going to ask Shice, and then
if you didn't hear the answer. It wasn't I went in to fight for my country.
Right.
I went in for my own personal reasons, and then it jumped off. So if I knew it was wartime, I wouldn't have signed up.
Now, okay, but then let me ask you this then.
So that's a no.
No, right. Okay, I see what you said, but I thought it was more the fact that you already signed the letter and was committed to it, so you had.
I was committed to it. You asked me, would I? Because I was already in, I stayed with the commitment. If you ask me, would I fight? Like you asked me the choice, would you fight for this country? No, I didn't go into military to fight for this country.
Now,
I went in there to get a break from Philadelphia and try to figure life out. So the answer is, would you fight for this country? No.
Join. Okay, but let me ask you this then. You're hearing stories that all of the the people from Ukraine are picking up arms. They're giving them giving them guns. And they're saying fight. You know, tanks are rolling down the street. How would you respond to that? I mean, it's a little.
You're talking about somebody invading our borders.
Okay.
Somebody invading our borders.
In other words, you don't have a choice.
We got Canada rolling down the street.
Right. Of course,
Mexico. Right. But you know, the way our military is set up, you're not invading the United States.
Right.
You're not invading the United States. You got one of the most powerful militaries in the world, and one of the greatest navies and air force in the world. Right. It's gonna be hard for somebody to invade us and have tanks rolling down our streets like they are in the Ukraine.
Yeah, because I often wondered about that though, because like I said, I'm watching the news stories and you see the women and children are loading up on the trains, but any men or young boys over 16, they can't leave. They're basically
When
forcing them
you're
out.
talking about Ukraine, is for Ukrainians.
Right, yeah.
So their
Right,
national loyalty is different from ours, even though we have fought in every war
absolutely.
on
Right,
America that America's been in. We have been very loyal to this
right,
country.
right. And
But
well,
the ones who have a conflict with it, you've seen that during the 60s when they, didn't want to go in the military, and you see what Ali did. That's because we didn't feel like this country belonged to.
right. Now, and now my response to that, I think I agree with you. I don't think that if you're talking about tanks rolling down the street, I don't think you have an option then. And I can't imagine being one of the ones that say,
You
I'm
got
gonna just
options.
leave.
You run to Canada, it's like some Ukrainians are running to Poland.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think in an instance like that, I don't think you have a choice because whether you agree with
You
what's
always
going
got a
on in your
choice,
country or
man.
not.
You
Say it
always
again.
got a choice. You
No. I
got
mean,
Ukrainians that jumping over to Poland.
I'm saying I don't think that I would have a choice.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a choice. If tanks are coming down, rolling down my block, threatening me, my life, my family, my homeland, no, I don't think I have a choice. I think you have to fight. Nike, you want to chime in on this one? Can you hear us?
Yo, I'm trying to get this internet working, man. It's messing up.
We can hear you. So we can hear you. Do you want? Well, I guess not. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna roll on. We're gonna roll on, Shice. And first of all, man, thanks for hopping on, man. All right. We're gonna roll on to the next. I got the next three, and let me know where you want to go, Shice. We got where are we headed? And this is in general. This was in general, not just this is as a country or however you want to respond to it. Where are we headed? Embiid and Harden, and lastly, was just give me some good news. Just some kind of good news. We talk about a lot.
Hey, my birthday coming up next month.
Oh, that's right. All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's always a time for reflection. And I do the artist thing.
Right.
So I'm making a lot of things happen as far as, getting out, doing my art, doing my birthday month, going to be in Baltimore, going to course Philly, South Jersey.
Baltimore? When you going to be more?
March 17th.
17th.
You know K Love, right? You remember K Love, the sister coming just words.
Yeah.
I got her on the phone and she pulling me down there. You know what I mean? So
March
yeah,
17th.
that's some good news. Family is good. Everybody's healthy, moving around. We always got to count our blessings.
Absolutely.
Gainfully employed, looking to make more money. But life is good right now. God is great.
Yo, man, you know what, Si? I'm glad you said that. Because I think we spend a lot of time focusing on what's not. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Instead of appreciating.
We got to be real. You got to be real about your blessings.
That's right.
And don't be so caught up in your blessing that you're ignoring what's going on around you. If I can still help anybody do anything, I'm gonna do it.
And that's not to say you don't acknowledge the fact that everything is. You're not saying that you've made it and everything is hunky dory, but I think you just said life is good. That's a state of mind. You know what I mean? That's you feeling like, okay, I'm good. I'm not.
It's relative, because if you're looking at somebody next to you, they got more than you, then you're going to look at what you have, but you're not focusing on somebody's house burned down.
Right.
Somebody was in a car accident. Somebody did lose their job. Somebody did lose their business. So if we only look at somebody who has more and don't look at, as I could be in this situation. I could be
worse, right?
I could have been in a car and got hit by a drunk driver.
That's right.
So I could have not have a job to go to Monday.
And you know what? So, also, I think part of it is also, living in the moment. You know what I mean?
Living in the moment.
Because life happens. So we're going to lose people. You can lose your job. You can get hit by a car, but be grateful
where you
are right now. Say it again.
And the world could be going in flames around you. We don't know what's going to happen with this Russia and Ukraine, how it's going to affect us globally, and how it's going to affect us domestically.
Well, I mean, we're seeing some of the effects of that now. I mean, gas prices is going crazy. Inflation was already up, so that might continue to tighten up. So it is going to affect
the pandemic.
It's in the pandemic, right?
The pandemic.
And but you know what though? I think a lot of that has to do with, like you said, your perspective. What do you choose to focus on? You know, it's the same thing, man. You know,
Hold on to your loved ones, man. If you got a loving relationship, be thankful for that.
That's right. That's right. Or
if you
listen,
don't,
or
be
if you
thankful
don't,
for the one that's coming.
that's right. Right. Or Shice, take the downtime as an opportunity to appreciate the silence. You know what I mean? You know,
all right, fellas. I think I'm back.
Yeah, we got you. We got you, Nike. We hear you.
This hotel internet is trash. But I have my hotspot, so yeah.
We hear you loud and clear, man. Let me finish this, and then we're gonna come to you, Nike, with some good news.
Right.
Size, I'm gonna echo some of the things you said, man. I'm enjoying myself now. You know, a lot of things going on, things being shuffled. You know, but I don't choose, since I'm talking about good news for me. I don't choose to wallow in it. You know what I mean? I appreciate where I am. Like I said, you know, I'm taking my own advice. I'm living in the silence. You know, an opportunity to reflect, an opportunity to grow. You know what I mean? And you know, I like what I do. And like I said, you know, things can be better, but things can also be a lot worse. Things can also be a lot worse, man. So you know, I'm in a good place, man. Nike, give me some good news,
man.
Count your blessings.
Yo, hey, where we at, man? Where we at? I'm sorry for being late and disrupting the show and all that.
That's cool. Well, you know, I let everybody know you in New Orleans right now. So and this is live.
What time is it right now? It's only because the hotel clock is saying 7:30.
You just blasting it out, Shice.
My phone is saying 7:30.
We're just an hour ahead of you.
But the laptop is saying 8:30. Is it 8:30?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
8:30.
8:30.
Went back today.
No. That's the 21st, isn't it? The 21st. It's always
bringing forward in the spring.
Back 2 minutes.
Yeah,
back an hour.
Right, you lost the hour. All
right. Yeah.
If Miss Holiday is listening or Miss Stevens, they're gonna be sorely disappointed that you didn't realize that New Orleans.
You got to forgive me for it, man. I've been since like 10 o'clock this morning, man. I've been
moving. Right. Okay.
Running. Hey, so what topic we on?
We went through the Ukraine issue, and now we're on some good news, man. That's why I asked you.
What I missed on the Ukraine?
Well, we talked about what was it, Shice? We talked about how does it affect us, or what does it mean to us? You got something to include in that?
Yeah, it's all bad for us because like you said, I heard you say when I was going in and out something about the economy and gas prices and food prices and all that.
Right.
Yo, man, like in my honest opinion, I believe all this is on purpose. Because of how all of the stuff is lining up too perfectly. You got COVID, then you got now like soon as that started dying down, all of a sudden you got war now.
But this war has been going on since 2014. He just decided to up it up, up the ante.
The actual war hasn't been going on. They've been in a hot civil disagreements.
They've been in a hot shooting war since 2014 because they've been.
But it was between the insurgents and in the Ukraine, like the people who want the Ukraine to stay a part of Russia, but Russia hadn't necessarily been involved.
Yeah, Russia had troops in Crimea, which is a part of Ukraine. So they've been in a hot shooting war since 14. That's what I'm saying. I mean, and they just decided to up the ante last week.
Right after the COVID and all that. It's like it's too much of a coincidence for me.
So you think so you think they did that to what? To mess the economy up? Just to
the Great Reset, man. We've been talking about that for a year now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
here it is. It's coming to fruition, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with it. I read something different with the Great Reset, but I just don't think this.
Yeah,
had.
I guess it's going to continue to be a conspiracy theory until it's not.
Until it happens, right. And I'm gonna call you like, yo, you were right. They don't reset the whole joint.
Then it's too late.
The reset is done.
Yeah.
So we did Ukraine night, and then we went on to a little bit of good news. So, you know, Shice gave some good news. I gave some good news. What you got, man? Give me some good news, Night. One, you in New Orleans vacationing.
Yeah, hey,
all
that's
the
good
hurricanes
news.
you want.
And
you got all the bees you
weed
want.
is legal here now. So that's good news.
All the what? You say you got some bees?
That's good news.
Right. What else you got, man? Give me some good news, man.
No, but good news. I think some of the good news is that I think people are starting to slowly like recognize that, you know, people ain't on our side.
What you
know
mean?
what I mean? And I think we've been knew that, but I just think that it becomes a little bit more clearer. Well, to me, it does. That, you know, we basically in this ourselves. Like black folks is starting to wake up. Like, you know, like if we don't do something, we gonna get left behind. You know what I mean?
So your good news is that you think, like you said, people are starting to wake up.
People are starting to wake up. I mean, it's still slow, you know what I mean? But I think people are starting to like really know that this shit is not the way it's supposed to be. Put it that way.
What do you think, Shice? I mean, you're out there in the street also. I mean, you've been at it for a long time. What do you think? What is your feedback on it? Do you see a change? Because I got a response to that also. What are your thoughts, Shice?
I think, yes, I think you see some people becoming more aware of politics culturally, socially, nationally, and globally. But a lot of us are still, if you watch with trends, and everybody's on social media with trends, it's still the dumb, you know. They're not using the international information highway to pass information. We're using it to distract us from the information. Right. We all want to, you know, what's the latest challenge, what's the latest TikTok, what the celebrities are doing. Right. You know what I mean? When I posted that video to show what's happening to the Africans in the Ukraine, that's not trending. And even when I watch it, it's got 5,000 views. It's not trending as much as when Russell Wilson when Future says something about Sierra. Right. You know what I mean? When Beyonce have a baby. Right. And I'm just talking to people when I'm outside. Nobody's talking about Ukraine too much. They're not talking about the Russian conflict.
I think a lot of that is intentional, man. This social media and even our news media, a lot of that stuff, man, is like you said, like I say, man, is programming. You know what I mean? And I honestly think, and this is because I've actually seen that how our account has been treated, especially with Twitter and Facebook. They monitor what gets out and what doesn't. Like you might think you're talking to all these people, but it's really not going to as many people as you think it is. They can slow
Oh
down.
Yeah, they absolutely can.
The spread of they like if they want your video to go viral, it'll go viral.
It can happen. Well,
if they want a message that you sending out not to go viral, then people ain't gonna see it.
Yeah, that is always there, Nike. I mean, there's always somebody behind the scenes that has the ability to do it. Now, I don't know, you know, what would cause them. Now again, if you're going against what they call community standards, then yeah, they do.
But that's the thing. Anytime you start talking race, they say it goes against community standards.
Right. Well, and being pro-black.
Wait a minute. Now we've had plenty of conversations in the online talking about race. Now I don't mean using derogatory terms, but I've never gotten anything, or I've never been booted off for talking about racial.
I have.
But talking about
race, I'll get a message and I'm like, yo, and I'm reading it like, yo, that wasn't that deep.
Now let me ask you.
I wasn't calling nobody. You know, I was calling people out. Just saying, it's like if you talk about certain things.
Was it using derogatory terms? I mean,
I wasn't using derogatory terms. It was the conversation, and they always tell you it's not when you tell them you want an explanation, they'll hit you back. Well, due to COVID and a shortage of personnel, we at this time can't do that. They definitely do that. They definitely play with the algorithms. I see plenty of people.
They had our accounts
I put out a video, and I remember before COVID, or right before COVID, I did a video. I had a feature, right?
Right.
And because the feature got shut down because of COVID, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go live," and I never went live. I went live and did spoken word live. In 2-3 days, I had 2,000 views. I haven't seen 2,000 views for anything I've done. And they looking, one, it's not just about race. They're looking to monetize anything you do. And if they can't monetize it, they will slow it down.
Right.
Yeah.
And you, I don't know if you remember, Stace, but right at the beginning of the year in January, our Real Brothers Facebook account was restricted. They said all of your comments will be restricted and what was it? Not shown in the at the proper something. Not shown. Well, whatever it is, they're sending it to like the bottom of the priority list for being shown.
Yeah, and I've heard people say that. Like
so
I said,
if they're doing that because Real Brothers having real conversations, I look at these groups that only talk about sex, and they like thousands of comments. So that's why they on us because we get excited about sex and relationships and not enough about our social issues.
Wow.
Right.
Now
you'll get something like you can get titties and ass all day coming through, right? But they don't censor that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, well, though, now again, that has never happened to anything. I guess I'm not talking about anything important, huh? So they just let my show go. I've never experienced that, I mean, but like I said, but I talk about racial issues constantly. And
you got to figure it's so many people on, they ain't gonna get everybody.
Right.
But if he's telling you, I'm telling you, and I'm telling you a bunch of other people that I got on my list, like, damn, they got me again.
Yeah, that's what I said. I've never experienced it, but with what y'all saying, and that leads some legitimacy to it. What you mean?
Hey, we off top.
When that episode of Bel Air, he couldn't say racism because it never happened to him before.
No, not saying no.
I'm joking, Steve.
Okay. All right. I'm saying
you giving some good news, right?
You did, didn't you? You did. You didn't finish.
My good news ran into some bad news and shit. We started talking about how y'all censored and everything.
Got a negative outlook.
He like the good news. We ain't all dumb. There's a bunch of us still dumb.
I know, right. I mean, but to go back to what Shiesty said, and you, Terry, we're never going to get everybody. I mean, I actually, unfortunately, I think that the majority of the people are going to be the ones that don't pay attention. But I hope that the good news would be on that note is that those folk would know that they have people that they can trust when people start putting stuff out there, that they'll pay attention, and when the call comes to act, that they'll act. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to get everybody. People want the internet to be escapism. A lot of times they don't want to talk about stuff.
Right.
And
I was even thinking about pushing this joint underground, because if you think about it, all of this media and digital communication is being monitored. Your phone, your internet, all of that.
Well,
so
no matter
the next
where you put
stage is to take it back old school, shortwave radio.
Damn. Oh, so you gonna be in your basement with the little radio?
No, you can have it set up at the crib. No, you can have it set up at the crib and do live shows just like that.
Yo, this I mean, hey, listen. All right, I got you.
You could. I'm just saying. What I mean? You can have shows on shortwave radio. Everybody tune into a certain station, get that message, and then you control your narrative. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
But even with that though, if somebody's out there looking to jam signals and stuff, they still have access to it. Put it that way. I'm just saying.
But it's still under the radar. Nobody is expecting that.
True.
Because everybody is on the digital scene. You know what I mean? Right. They're not on the radio waves.
Right. All right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep. I got you. I understand. All right. So we're gonna move on, man. All right. We had two more left. we have Embiid and Harden, and then we have where are we headed? Embiid and Harden, and where are we headed? Nike, where you want to go, man? TL, where you want to go?
Hey, I want to keep it light, man, for a second.
Did y'all
In
watch
honor
the game?
of
Okay,
Mardi Gras.
What's
All
that?
right. Embiid and Harden.
Yo. Did y'all watch the game, man?
They looking all right, man.
Yo,
For the
man.
first 2 games, they looking all right.
I mean, they haven't done anything yet. They haven't 2 games, but I'll say this: they look good. They look good.
Did more than Ben Simmons.
Yo, I mean, right, exactly, right,
Yo.
yeah. Wait a minute, Nike, you were against the trade, man. Oh, so you believe it now?
No, I was against the trade. I think we gave up too many pieces for the trade.
What about now?
But now
What
that
about now?
he's here, come here,
Yo,
man,
man,
my bearded
I mean,
fellow.
you know,
Come here, my bearded fellow.
If it's about winning,
when people say we gave up too much, you know they was trying to get him last year,
right?
And we didn't get him because Brooklyn pushed all 8 chips to the wall. You don't get players, and people go, "Well, we should have gave him Shake and Danny Green." They're like, Brooklyn don't want them.
Right? Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We trying to give us some magic bees. They like, no, you was supposed to give us a cow.
I was a little upset that they gave away Curry, man, because we need that shooter, man.
Yo, but look at that thing now, man. But look at the way they playing now, though.
They ain't gonna let you. They ain't gonna let us give them Danny Green and Shake Milton. They wasn't gonna do it.
They want something. I mean, but you know what, though? I'll say this though. Looking at the way they're playing, you know, we try not to look too far in the future, but at least now, I think if they continue to play the way they do, I think it's more the attitudes. I'm watching him. He's aggressive. He's driving. He's causing havoc. You know,
and he's speed up there. If you check it, he's
that's right.
He sped up their offense.
That's right.
It's like it's an upgrade because when Ben was here, he had nicely get you 14 assists, 10 rebounds like James did, but not 29 points.
That's right. That's right. And causing so much havoc. He caused a lot of havoc with
the game is so easy for Maxey. He already was. It was so easy playing with MVP and B. It's even easier now playing with MVP, 2 legit stars.
That's right.
He's getting one-on-one looks. He getting open looks. The only thing I'm saying is it's not the regular season. We had Harris play good in the regular season. We had Ben play good in the regular season. Playoffs is when you make your reputation. We all know that. Yeah. You got regular season players, and you got them players that with the NBA playoffs, that's when legends are made. Harden has been less than MVP superstar Harden in the past during playoffs.
Right.
But he's changed his game. Before he was ball dominant, hogging it. You know, before he got hurt with Brooklyn, he was doing the same thing he's doing now. But he pulled that hamstring.
Yeah.
And I seen Maxey on the interview.
And you got Maxey, who's never been in the playoffs. So I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. Can we finally get out the second round?
Right.
So
and I seen Maxey on the interview the other day say that since James been there, even before he, you know, they was actually working out with a team, he was giving him tips on. He's like, man, you know, when you see see a hole, you know, don't wait.
Right,
if
take
you see it, go.
And you see him.
That's more IQ.
Exactly, and that's the thing that I said. Regardless, right now, we would have still not gone anywhere had we not made the trade. I think
we might have got out the first round, second round
with Ben. Still, I don't know, man. You know, I just don't. We weren't going anywhere. We weren't going anywhere with Ben Simmons. So we had to do something. So to use your term, Shice,
I'm going to be devil's advocate because I thought another year with Ben, with Doc, and all that, because we was first number 1 seed almost all last year.
Right.
I could see. I wanted them to run it back and thought Ben was going to take this as a test. But we seen that mentally he wasn't ready for that test. So yeah,
you know what,
I agree with you on that note. I think it was more about
mental. I think it's about mental. Because I still think if he would have just ball, I still think Ben could be great. I think he could be great. But I just don't see where he has that dog mentality where he's saying, like Nike just said.
He don't.
You see a hole
because how you gonna go up? Like you had them shooting problems when you first got to the league, right? So if you had that dog in you,
that's right.
Right, like every summer we see him shooting threes. Oh, I can make a three. You know, he's shooting
with
threes.
nobody on him. Right.
That, I mean, if you ain't shooting in the game, that ain't helping nobody.
Barkley was a horrible 3-point shooter, but he would jack it.
Right, yeah, like
I think Barkley was career 30%.
Barkley, right, that's right. Barkley
he was still taking 5 and 6.
That's right.
And this before the 3-point era was crazy.
That's right. And he used to say that, you know, you have to shoot the ball. I think that I agree with you, Shice. I think for Ben, it's mental. I was reading an article today that they don't think he's gonna he's now saying that he has back problems or something. So
because he's trying to miss that March 10th Philly game.
It's Philly game, right? That's what they were saying. You know, he just doesn't want to play.
None of that smoke.
He doesn't.
And to me, I'm the Nets. I'm like, I'm the Nets. I'm like, if you don't take this game,
it's a problem.
I don't know what you're gonna do if we got to see these boys in the playoffs.
That's right. This is a problem because now
you have a mental break. It don't matter if he had the flu or whatever. He'd be like.
He'd be circling that game.
That's right, exactly.
He would circle that game on his calendar.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Remember they traded Moses. Moses said, "Y'all ain't gonna beat me." He for like 2 seasons. He was with the Bullets at the time. The Wizards now. He was in Washington, right down the street. We had to see him 6 times a year, and he was like, "Y'all not beating." He had a hell of a record them first 2 games years against us. Moses was like, "Y'all gonna do this to me?"
That's right. After I did what I did, I'm watching Harden today, man, and he's driving. I mean, you had 2 cats hanging on him, and he's still driving. It's like, and that's why I mentioned something. I said Philly's gonna love him because that's an attitude. That's that AI attitude. Like, you know what? I'm driving.
We had that type of player since Jimmy Butler left,
and that's the point. Philly gonna love him, right? Yeah, with that kind of play, like you said,
he can really take his shahada.
Yeah, right, yeah, man. I mean, you know,
he already got the beard. We just gonna get him some oil, some turtle.
Right, yeah. He already got. He fit right in from the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And with that attitude, man. I mean, like I said, they looking good. They looking good.
I'm waiting for the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I am too.
That is amazing. You know whose side I'm on,
of course.
And I want hard to take it. Like I hear y'all saying. I'm not an MVP all-star in the playoffs like I am regular season. I got y'all.
Right, I got you. Right.
But the test, I want to see these next games coming up.
Yeah, they got Cleveland, the Heat, the Bulls.
Now, the New York and Minnesota, they're not good. They're not
the Nets.
caliber teams.
New York made the playoff last year, but they disappointed. But they played as hard for 3 quarters.
They did play hard.
3 in the beginning of 3.5 quarters.
So Minnesota.
But I think you need those games. We got 3 games we're supposed to win.
Right, you got to win them. Yeah.
Before we looking like Cleveland right behind us.
Right.
And then we got the Heat and the Bulls right above us.
Yeah. Yo.
I would like to at least split those the Heat and the Bulls. I don't want to lose to both of them. We beat both of them. We really sent a notice.
Yo, yeah. You know, and the articles, that's what they saying. Yeah,
the Heat is rolling though. I'm with y'all. I'm marking these games. That's why I know they got the Heat coming up.
Now the Heat is Jimmy Butler, right? Isn't he down there?
Out of Bonding. What is his name?
Adebayo.
Man. Yeah.
Like, and then them 2 white boys they got can shoot the lights out, boy.
See, he trying to get our algorithms put down again.
Yeah.
White boys.
Caucasian man. Caucasian.
It's our community standards.
Man. Thank you for backing me up too. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
my big brother always got my back.
As soon as I came on, I think he heard me struggling. He was like, I got you.
Yeah. I'll text you later. Because we should be old pro. Because you know we got just words and we had to do what it had to do. And sometimes the band be.
That's right.
Dang, with the band. Shots, you got to go.
You got to go. That's right. We got to make it happen. You got to make it happen.
Man, we making it happen. Hey, real brothers is real brothers. That shit.
Absolutely.
If I knew, I'd have grabbed my hat.
I didn't know. I knew he was in New Orleans, but I'm texting him like, yo, where you at? You know.
Yo, man, I'm telling you, like, I had set my alarm. Even my alarm is set. I had just woke up because.
So you was thinking you was just coming on to test it. Because you usually do an hour test, right?
What'd you say, Shice?
You usually test an hour before, so you got on thinking, I'm just testing it.
Right.
Yeah, I get on. I'm like, what's going on?
All right.
Like, oh, State's trying to do it without me.
It's not a test.
Yo, yeah. And you know what, Nike? And I didn't think, I mean, I knew that, well, I didn't think to say, yo, don't forget about that hour difference. I didn't think about it.
And you know, I don't think we on Facebook, are we? Or
Yeah,
are we?
yeah, we on Facebook. Yeah.
We on there? All right,
Yeah.
all right.
I didn't
But
screw it
anyway,
up again. All right, so
hey,
we got one more, man. But go ahead. What you got, Nike?
we
You
only
gotta
got
say
one
something?
more.
Yeah, we only got one more,
Oh
man.
damn, I came in on half the show. So
See what happened when you come in late, man? Yeah. He like start the class over.
I pulled my Eddie. What was it? Eddie Griffin? No, what was his name on the 5 Heartbeats?
Eddie, Eddie, somebody.
Eddie Kane.
Eddie Kane.
I pulled my Eddie Kane.
Yeah. All right. Last
Not
one.
like this.
Last one.
You ain't never gonna get it.
All right, here we go, y'all. And Nike, we're gonna come to you, man. Where are we headed? Where are we headed?
That's a rough one, bro.
What you mean, Nike? What you mean? Well, you know what? Now we kind of talked
good,
about
man,
this.
and it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets any better.
Hold up. I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
He said, hold on.
Hey, guys, don't come back on this Joe with no shirt on, even trying to get some bees, man. Come on.
Yeah, he's trying to get his B game on.
All right, go ahead, Nike.
No, but seriously,
headed,
I think it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
Now, what's gonna get worse, Nike? What do you mean, man?
Because our economy is gonna hit proportions similar to the Great Depression.
You think so?
I think so. Because it kind of has to at this point because of the way everything is structured, right? Because they have this global economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our economy is based on other countries' economies.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this war is affecting us so much, right?
Good evening, Annette.
Because our pipelines to energy, to unsustainable energy is fragile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they block just like now. So they if they have trouble getting that gas through the pipeline to other countries, that's going to affect their production, which in turn is going to affect our production, or actually not even our production, because we don't manufacture a bunch of stuff like we used to in the industrial age. America makes this money now basically on war. That's how we make money.
Well,
we don't put out a lot of products and manufacturing, and we got all this competition in steel and oil and all these other things.
They stopped making a lot of the we stopped manufacturing a lot of the lower value
right
items.
Our industrial age is just about over, right?
We're now like more high tech and service.
Yeah,
you know,
and
high tech and
this
service.
global economy now makes it where everything is dependent
on each other, right?
It's interdependent. So
and in a way that's good though. In a way that's good. In a way that's good, because that makes you think twice about doing some stupid stuff. If you know that, look at Russia now. He made his comment about his nuclear weapons because they're pulling the banks off of this SWIFT system that they use to handle their financing. So
yeah, they already had 2 of those guys commit suicide already.
Who in
this
Russia?
Shit is just starting. Yeah.
I mean, but what I'm saying is that, and Shice mentioned it earlier. You talk about NATO and things like that. It's good when we look at ourselves and act like we're one world economy, because you know if you do something stupid, it's going to come back and negatively affect you. So I think that's a positive. That's a positive.
It kind of is a positive when it's working the way it's supposed to.
True.
But it's a negative, like I said, when something that interdependent link is so tight or so strong that when one chain in that link breaks, it breaks the whole thing.
True.
Right?
True.
So we're at we don't manufacture a lot of our own oil, right?
We do.
We get some here in Louisiana,
right?
We get some in Texas,
right?
But not to the Saudis.
No,
we don't have oil like that.
No,
like the Ukraine over there, we don't have oil like that. You know what I mean? So we're dependent on a lot of these
or producing
these other
countries. Right. Mm-hmm.
And when shit gets bad for them, it trickles down to us. It's like almost like that Reaganomics, the trickle down economy shit that they was talking. It's like that, but on a global scale now.
Now,
yeah.
Now, let me say this, and then we come to you, Shice. I and maybe like we said earlier, like when you before you came on, maybe it's also has something to do with your perspective, because I look at it as a positive, because I think that we need to realize and we need to think that or realize that some of that nonsense that we were doing is affecting us negatively. You know what I mean? We are interconnected. I think things like this make us realize, like, okay, you know what? If I do something too crazy over there, it's gonna swing back and kick me and my country in the balls. You know, so
but it already is happening.
I know, but what I'm saying is that now let's put Russia to the side, because you know you're gonna have madmen that do things. You know that's gonna happen, but it makes other people think twice about taking those same types of actions. You know what I mean? Because if you're a president and you're thinking about doing something that's going to swing back and affect you negatively, you'll think twice about it. So like I said, I think that's a positive. Look at the countries now that are thinking about joining NATO. You know what I mean? You know, NATO was supposed to be a stabilizing force and you handle your disagreements at that body. You know, you go to NATO to argue, to prevent wars. But there were some countries that weren't too pressed about joining. Now they
like
are.
China, right? So let's take China for instance.
Nice, you coming up next.
If China decides to call their what do you call it when a shareholder
take their investments out, right?
Move their so if they decide to call in their merger, not merger or whatever, you know, they call in their chips,
right?
And they want their money. What the U.S. gonna do then?
Calling ours. We're still the biggest economy. We are still the biggest economy out there. You know, China is still not. They are growing. They're growing, but they're two things. They're slowing down. Their growth is slowing down, and they're still not. Their economy is still not larger than ours. You know, so go ahead, Shice. What do you think, man? Where we headed?
So we say where we headed. It's hard to, you know, we can't play Nostradamus because we don't know. We can look at some clues. I grew up in the church, right? And I always heard of, you know, end days, famine, disease, and war would rip us apart. So that always sticks into my mind, on the spiritual side. But humanity, I believe, can evolve and adapt. We always seem to evolve and adapt. Will the world look the same? No.
Right.
Could it look better? Of course it could. If we got, like you say, madman. If you had Russia and China acting wild, then you got all the forces of the world go together to try to slow Russia and China down. That just throws everything in the flux. And where are we going? So we got mad people that sit up there still trying to do global dominations, like this Alexander the Great or they Hitler or Napoleon. Like we got, as human beings, we got to get off that.
Right.
Yeah, you know, got to, because all of these nuclear weapons.
You lost Ukraine. Let them people live.
Right.
Let them deal with their own problems. But somebody says, Putin said, I want to be a global force and big dog things. So when you say where we headed, I don't know. I just believe humanity will always survive and adapt. It might not look the same. It might get rough, ugly, and bloody.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll survive.
People, we always
we'll survive, and the world will do what it's supposed to do.
Right.
That gas can go to $10 a gallon. We're gonna figure it out.
It kills me that we don't learn from history.
Right.
Trying to run the world or most of the world, it's problematic.
Right.
Because people are not going to roll over and let you do it.
Right.
So all you're doing is having these great conflicts that basically this ain't the first time the world had to reset.
Right.
The world had to reset after World War II. You had the Great Depression.
But you know what, Shice? I'll say this to both of y'all also. You know, and it kind of brings the conversation full circle. One of the first things you mentioned, Shice, when we first started talking was about seeing the video clips of how the Africans are being treated. I think even that's a positive, because now, again, that's further helping to interconnect the people. And I think for the most part, now you have people, you know, we still have racism and all that kind of stuff. But I think that for the most part, most people most people just want to live. So most people don't want to stand back and just allow injustice to happen.
Well,
So
injustice has been happening in Africa forever. You got
agree.
Rwanda, Libya. We could go on and on about
You
all the
ain't gotta
countries
go
that
that
happen in
far.
America,
Injustice been happening
Sudan,
forever
South Africa,
here.
and we sat back. The rest of the world let it happen. Look how long we lived through apartheid. That thing went on forever before they finally got.
But what I'm getting at is, even if we take a look at the way things are today, when we were in the street, protesting the murders and all that kind of stuff, it wasn't just us. You had, it was like a rainbow. It was more.
Always been a rainbow. It was a rainbow when they protest Vietnam. But going back to what I said, States, when you was outside during apartheid, was black people running around talking about apartheid generally? No.
Right.
You had some people that were conscious, globally aware, that were saying divest from. We need to divest from South Africa. We need to do something. Mandela stayed in jail for 20 years.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So we didn't pay attention to Africa then. We're not gonna pay attention to Africans in the Ukraine that's suffering. We didn't pay attention when they showed how China was doing to Africans a couple of years ago.
And still are, and they still are. Africa is getting raped over there, man. They all of the natural resources over there are owned by other countries. That's crazy.
You know what? Now I'll say this in that vein, though. I mean, something does have to give in the continent of Africa. I don't know, what
this
the answer
too.
is. Well, true. But with that being said, though, Nike, I mean, you and I always talk. Actually, all of us talk about change happening, the speed of it. It might not be happening fast, but there is change happening. There is change happening here.
The world's always changing, good, bad, or indifferent.
This change that's coming now is happening pretty fast.
Which you talking about? You talking about on the negative
last
side?
Couple years of your life. Wait,
you talking about going
about
negative?
The last couple years of your life as compared to, let's say 2010 to like 2018.
Are you saying getting worse or getting better
than what we live in now?
No, but are you saying look at the last couple of years of your life as it gets worse, or is it getting better?
I think it's actually getting worse because look, the gas prices are steadily going up. Food shortages is here now. Like the stuff ain't on the shelves like it used to be. Stuff is changing so rapidly that we still not even realizing that stuff that has already happened, we haven't felt the effects of it yet.
To Terry's point, we talking about last 2 years, we've been yelling Black Lives Matter. We've been in a pandemic. We watched white people storm the Capitol. And this is in the last 2 years. People was like, yo, 2020 was crazy. Then 2021 was crazy. And now we got war that we don't know what's going to do to the goal. So like he said, in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, been crazy in the last 15.
Now I can ride with that. The pandemic was kind of out of nowhere. But when we talk about race relations and things like that, us being in the street, Black Lives Matter, the whole nine. Is it possible though that this stuff that we're seeing now are part of the last vestiges of people realizing that change is coming? So that's people trying to hold on to what was. I
think that's part of it.
Right. So if that's a
white people got scared of what Latino population is rising. They're the second biggest minority of them past black people in America. The Asian population is rising. If you put all non-whites against whites, they're the minority now.
Right. So that's a positive. So that's like, they being backed into a corner, and now you're fighting to get out of that corner.
Positive.
And that's what's going on.
Trump, and then after Trump got kicked out, they climbed the wall.
Wait, say it again.
That's how it's so positive that they elected Trump. We had to live through that. Right. And then when he got voted out, we watched him climb over, raid the Capitol.
That's right. Right.
We watched what happened in Virginia.
Right. Yeah.
Like we've really been watching white and black people fighting in the street and have to scream Black Lives Matter. That's so I don't know if we scream better or worse. It's just change.
Right.
I agree. I totally agree with what you said. they are afraid of what's coming.
Right.
They are
You know what?
scared to be the
They named it
minority.
Fear of a Black Planet.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They're scared to be the minority. And that's why things are happening the way they're happening.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Like if you think about everything in a bubble, right? You got this one people who have all the power, right? And they've had it forever. But now they see that, okay, you have all these black movements, right? Then you have all these Latino movements. Then you have all of these on social media, people getting canceled and people ain't taking other people's shit no more.
Right.
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 So
Oh, he got his hat on. So
so
he
they
got
like, man, things are going crazy. We can't say what we want no
right.
more. We can't do what we want no more. We can't treat people the way we want to
Right.
treat them no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in their mind, they like, man, we losing control.
But
They
from
like
our
the
perspective,
Karen phenomenon been recorded for the last 2 years.
we'll say it
We
again.
already knew they
Oh,
exist
Karen,
since
right,
Emmett Till
right,
days and
right,
before.
right.
But we watching them on camera,
That's right.
can't get their way, and look like white women
And
have a
lose
nervous
it.
breakdown because they
Right.
get their way.
So
Right.
again,
We came up with a whole new term for them in the last 2
right.
years.
So again, but now that's so from their perspective, it's a negative. But from our perspective, and I'll even go a step further and say society as a whole, it's a positive. Because this change is coming, it's including more people, and also a lot of the folk that are of good mind and good spirit are saying, wait a minute, this isn't right. I'm getting out in the street with them because Black lives do matter. So again, it is
but
a
until
positive.
they relinquish that power, or that power is taken away from them.
What's up, Zion?
Then it's going to always be a constant
See,
battle.
this is
It's
where
always
it
going to
kind
be
of
a
loses me
constant battle
because
between the haves
and
the have-nots, or the white haves and the everybody else that have and have not. So their base is shrinking. Their actual base is shrinking. That's why if you look at the Republican Party right now, there's a lot of people who want to be Republican, but they like, man, these cats is even crazy for me right now.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Like I would say again, I go always try to figure historically in my own experiences. Historically, white folks, when they got involved with the civil rights movement and the militant movement, white folks backing the Panthers, liberals with their money. You had the same thing with the civil. They jack it and take it over. So they jack it and take it over to the point that we watch Jews and white women get a lot more rights than we did when we were the foot soldiers during the civil rights movement. True. And again, I was downtown Center City Hall, Black Lives Matter, all these white folks. And I'm standing with Jay Nas. You know Jay Nas. Yeah. Nobody even talking to us.
Wow.
They all talking for us, making speeches. And I said, that's a lot of privilege you showing. That you're talking about Black Lives Matter and nobody's talking to us. You got everybody else speaking for us. Don't even look our way. But I was down there to do spoken word on some poetry protests. Then when they hear me do poetry, now all these white people want to talk to me.
Right.
So they've always been about privilege. You got to understand, just because they march with you, they're still not ready to give up their privilege in this country that they're willing to share with you. Because if they was, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't
understand that we don't have to die, but they ain't ready to stop gentrifying, redlining our communities.
And a lot of thing is they don't recognize the privilege that they have. And,
they do.
And it's like, I don't necessarily blame them for that.
Because if you had the upper hand,
they have to be
no,
shown
we don't.
that they
no. I was wondering if that's what Mike was saying. He said I don't blame him. Are you saying because if you had the upper hand, you would use it?
No. What I'm saying is, so just like we've always grown up black, right? We've always grown up black.
Not me,
and we've always and we've
Speak
always
yourself,
grown up underprivileged. No, listen. We've always grown up black and we've always grown up underprivileged, right? So we know what that looks like. They don't like privileged white people don't understand what that is. They don't understand what that looks like. they like, oh yeah, well he had it bad because they killed.
So you say ignorant.
Police
They were just
people
ignorant.
are killing them, and they
But
sympathize,
I
but they
would
don't
interject there
understand the
willfully
privilege that they
ignorant.
have just for being them.
Right.
Just
right.
just for being in the system that they're in. They don't recognize, because like if you don't, what's that saying we say? If you don't know,
You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Right.
No,
right.
You don't know what you don't know.
I'm gonna have to push back on that because that's willfully ignorant. You've been here long enough. You're adults, 30 years old, 20 years old, 40 years. Black people having conversations about black people about white privilege, and I watch them deny it. If you're gonna deny, I would not deny male privilege to a woman. But women say, yo, as a man, you have certain privileges in this society. And for me to say no, that's willfully ignorant or just lying. And I think white people do that. They know their privilege. They know it. They will not trick. I give you damn, I forgot that white lady name. But she said, if y'all could take a pill and change your complexion to black, would you do it? White folks in that audience is like, not one of them raised their hand.
So in other words, that it doesn't benefit.
You know it's a difference.
Beneficial, right. All right. So listen, we run out of time, so we're gonna close this thing down. So we're gonna make our way around. So Shice, what you got in closing, man?
Yo, count your blessings, man. I'm gonna end it on a high note when we was talking about something positive. Count your blessings, look what's good in your life, and hold on to it. If it's your family, hold on to it. If you a great relationship, loving your life, hold on to it. Whatever you have financially, materialistic, be happy for it. If somebody got a bigger car across the street from you, it is what it is, but you got a car. Right. And I always say to somebody, like, you don't got a car, somebody else ain't got no feet.
Wow.
There you go.
True.
Right.
Thanks, man. What you got, Nike? Before you head, all right, so after this, Nike, you heading out. We're drinking her.
Remember, it's 9:30.
Oh yeah, true.
I gotta go get Venus before she be like, yo, I don't want her getting too many bees.
She come in with more bees than you did.
I come back, she gonna have a neck full of bees. I'm like
what did you show?
Get all them damn bees from?
All right, what you got?
Said, I got to my smile.
Yeah, I just think that, man, we have to keep our heads up, man. Like, no matter what's coming, it don't matter how bad it gets. We're survivors. That's what we do.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
If gas get to be $10 a gallon, we gonna figure it out.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? If it ain't no more bread on the shelf, we gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? So that's my positive spin on everything.
Right.
Like we are who we are for a reason. You know what I mean? When they brought us over here, we was like this in the hull of the ship.
Right.
And somehow we was able to survive that. So if we can survive that, we can survive whatever's coming.
Yep. All right, now what's your thing, Nike? In closing, what's your thing? What's your saying again?
Hey, love is the new black.
Nice. All right, Nike. All right, in closing, man. First of all, Shice, man. Appreciate you getting on, man. It was a big help.
Had the rep.
Real Brothers hat on.
There you go.
So in closing, y'all, I want to echo what both my brothers said, man. Keep positive, and your lot in life has a lot to do with your perspective. It has a lot to do with your mental, the way you view things. So keep a positive attitude. And again, that's not to say that you don't acknowledge that life is going to happen and things aren't going to always be rosy, but look for the positive. And don't forget, you could check us out on all of the major platforms. Get your merchandise. We got the website address up there, RealBrosLive.com/merchandise. Yo,
and thank y'all for visiting our digital neighborhood.
You want to get paid for
I
this?
just want to let everybody
we say
in New Orleans know, they giving us love down here. I've been passing the cards out.
Nice.
Everybody's like, Real Brothers, what's that? Where y'all, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So
nice.
We down here representing, and it's all love so
Real
far.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yo,
you said?
Who I send my cash app to?
Oh.
We pay for this.
No, we didn't have no contract. You weren't
I'm getting sleepy then.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Right,
we appreciate it. Hey, Size, man, be safe, man. Hey, Terry, enjoy yourself, man. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have this chopped up, right? Maybe not in the next couple days, but I'll have it posted in a little bit.
Right. All right. Enjoy yourself, man. Be safe.
Us. Love y'all. And we out.
Be safe, man. All right. Talk to you.